Yo, what is up, guys? It is a Gong Master here. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone is having a beautiful day. So, welcome to this very improvised story time series of story times, I guess. This is all of the times I should have gone to the hospital, but, well, I didn't, for one reason or another. This list is in no particular order. It's not based off of pain or anything, it's just a list. So, at number 1, to kick us off, we have the most recent event, the one that caused me to make this very video. I was in our shop working. I was using a multi-tool to pry this plastic coin holder apart. I had already been doing this for like 2 hours at this point, and I've never done it any other way, nor has it ever resulted in any injury. But wouldn't you know it, the blade slips right off the holder and hits me right on the side of my left hand, right next to the knuckle. This cut bled a little bit, got a little messy, but I got the bleeding under control, and it got covered with a band-aid and wrapped on, or rather it got wrapped with one of those self-adhering wraps that like the sports athletes use. And as far as it healed up, I'd say it healed up pretty well. The reason why I should have gone to the hospital is because I actually felt the blade hit my bone. I actually felt it hit my knuckle. But as I was looking at it, it wasn't bleeding a lot, so I just decided, you know what? Ain't nobody got time for that. I remember telling some of my friends about this cut, and they were telling me that I should go to the hospital, it's gonna get infected, I could lose my hand. But no, shoot, a week and a half later, it's healed up just fine, and I still have my hand. Event number 2. This happened a few weeks ago. I picked up a part-time job making candles at this candle shop. I was cutting the wick on this freshly poured candle. I didn't notice that my pinky was touching the wick, more specifically, the part of the wick that the scissors were going to cut. I realized this fact only after I felt the blades of the scissors sink into the tip of my pinky. I ended up physically cutting a chunk of my flesh off of my pinky. Yeah, as you can imagine, this didn't exactly feel too good. This cut, unlike my more recent one, was very bloody. It was like my finger was a running sink in a horror movie, just blood pouring out. I somehow magically stopped the bleeding enough to notice that there's a piece of my pinky just hanging off of my finger. So, what do you do when there is a piece of flesh just dangling off of your finger? Well, you put that shit right back where it's supposed to go and you tape it. Definitely should have gone to the hospital. This was a really bad cut. At least almost a half-inch deep, like right into the tip of my pinky. Maybe not a half-inch, but if I'm exaggerating, it's not by much. Should have gone to the ER, but I just put a band-aid on it and wrapped a rubber band around it. About a month later, it has healed up quite well. Granted, I can't feel anything in the tip of my pinky, so that might be cause for concern later on down the road. But fuck it, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Event number 3. Take a wild guess what caused this one. Yeah, that's right, another bladed object. Lucky you, go get a cookie. This one was a butterfly knife. For those of you that didn't know, I have an unhealthy love for butterfly knives. And growing up, I actually had an Instagram account where I would show off these shitty butterfly knife tricks and just other bullshit that I could do with them. So I was recording a video, trying to do some fucking flip that could have resulted in the blade going in my eye or something. The knife slips, and to make things worse, this butterfly knife had a serrated blade. If you don't know what a serrated edge is, it's basically what I like to call shark's teeth. They're really other tiny blades, like little points, I guess, just to cause more damage. The serrated edge flies across the top of my finger and puts a pretty gnarly gash into the tip of it. This was another bleeder, and it was gnarly. Also, not to mention, this was back when I was like between the ages of like 15 and 17. I was doing this trick over my bed, so of course blood ended up getting on the bed. It started dripping on the carpet. Oh my god, it looked like a frickin' murder scene. And no, I don't have footage of that cut. But I have something a little bit better, if you want to call it that. Not really. I have footage of a few days later, after it healed up a bit, where I actually recreated it, trying to pass it off as just happened. So I already had the cut on my finger, and all I was doing was reenacting it to post it for content, because clout. Take a look. You're welcome for this. I had to dive deep into the archives to find it. Holy shit, I was built like a fucking barrel. Event number 4. Spoiler alert, this one did not involve a knife or a bladed object of any sort, but only plain old youth stupidity. When I was in elementary school, my friends and I were on the playground during recess. We were playing this game called Wood Chips. If you don't know what this game is, number 1, I feel sorry for you. Wood Chips is this game where you can play like 1v1 or 1v-many. It's like tag. One person is it. They go around on the playground with their eyes closed, trying to tag other people. If someone who is not it gets off the playground, if the person who is it hears you get off the playground, they can call wood chips, and if you're on the wood chips, you're out. This is similar to Marco Polo with the whole fish out of water thing. So, I was it. And I heard my friend run somewhere specific on the playground. So I cross this bridge I'm on, and forget that there is a tunnel going to the other side of this playground. I run face first into the metal bar above the tunnel. The bar hits perfectly on the bridge of my nose. I start crying and bawling my eyes out. There's kids looking at me. The whole recess goes quiet. Everyone's just staring at me, grabbing my face. My nose is broken. It hurts. So what are you supposed to do when you break your nose? Google says take pain relievers and reduce swelling. Well, let me tell you what I did. I put my hands to my nose and manhandled it back into where I thought it was supposed to go. Then I just went about my day. Didn't tell any teachers, none of my other friends, or my parents. To this very day, I can still dislocate and relocate my nose. It creeps the hell out of my wife. Event number 5. So, this event too was caused by youth stupidity, and quite possibly takes the cake. I was maybe just out of elementary school. I might not have even been in middle school. I really don't even remember. All I remember is that I was really, really young. It was Christmas, and I had just gotten a pogo stick. This Christmas, it was very rainy. So here I am, wanting to use my new pogo stick. I can't do it inside because the floors were slick, and outside was rainy and icy. Well, I started hopping on my pogo stick in the garage. You know, the place with the really slippery floor. Oh yeah, I wasn't even wearing a helmet or anything. You don't need a doctorate's degree in foreshadowing and simple knowledge of physics to know that the pogo stick slipped out from underneath me, and I landed butt, back, and head first on the ground. My body actually, physically ragdolled. It, bounced, according to my mom. My mom and dad said that my pupils were really dilated, I probably had a concussion, and I realistically probably put a small fracture in my skull. I didn't see any brain matter leaking out of my head, so I think I'm good. Shockingly, did not go to the hospital, even though I really should have, because at this point, it's a little kid who just suffered a really traumatic injury. Slipped off of, he slipped backwards on the pogo stick, landed directly on his head and his back. I wouldn't be surprised if that incident is part of the reason why I'm so stupid today. Anyway, I just figured that I could tie in my most recent event, I guess, incident, my masochistic tendencies, I guess, into some type of story time. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. My name is the Gong Master, and I will see you all in the next one.